The Ready, Set, Grow podcast is sponsored by Ag Expert, software designed for Canadian agriculture. Visit them today at agexpert.ca.
Welcome to the Ready, Set, Grow podcast, where we like to showcase startup and early stage companies, as well as visit with innovators in the agriculture and food industry. Today, we're here with Diana Laturnis and special guest Sonya Shorey, Vice President of Strategy, Marketing, and Communications at Invest Ottawa. Thank you for joining us today, Sonya. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Sonya, and I serve as the Vice President of Strategy, Marketing, and Communication for Invest Ottawa, lead economic development agency for Canada's capital in knowledge-based industries, for Bayview Yards, Ottawa's one-stop business acceleration shop, and our newest endeavor, Area X.O, the futureplex of innovation and collaboration. I'm also the passionate champion for International Women's Week here in Canada's capital, where we are executing with so many partners, 50 partners in fact, more than 40 events over the next 12 days dedicated to equipping, inspiring, and enabling women in leadership in all professional fields, from research, agriculture, technology, and innovation, right through to the public sector, nonprofits, the media industry. It's a very broad gamut, and we couldn't be more excited to be with you in FCC today.
Awesome. 40 events. Can you explain, just give us a scenario of a couple of them?
Absolutely. So we really wanted to have something for everyone. So this is all about women and men coming together to support other women in advancing their leadership journey. So of course, we're all about entrepreneurship, both in Main Street and in tech. We know that the pandemic has had a very disproportionate impact on women. 1 in 4 are thinking of leaving the workforce or scaling back their career. That is simply something that absolutely cannot happen. That would tragically set us back in terms of regression from an economic and a societal perspective. So we've looked at women in tech, specifically entrepreneurs, the challenges that they're facing. Capital is a massive challenge. Yesterday, the very famous Arlene Dickinson, an amazing Canadian investor, joined us to talk very specifically about the importance of high net worth women taking the time to join us as angel investors so that we can lift up and support and get more capital to the women in tech, the founders that are emerging, growing, and scaling here in our region. Absolutely critical. There are many other hurdles as well, of course. When you're a tech entrepreneur, access in this current environment to the right mentors, the right expertise, cash management, looking at opportunities to continue growing, scaling, accessing global markets in a time where global markets have changed. There's massive fundamental changes in how you connect with customers. So we had an entire session dedicated to founders, to investors. On the Main Street side, we're looking at some of the priority equity groups, women from different walks of life that are really struggling to find their way forward in the pandemic. If we think the challenges for society broadly have been massive, when you are a woman of color from a marginalized community, it is far, far greater amplified. So we have actually hosted workshops for immigrant women entrepreneurs to help them to find a path forward during the pandemic. We have a sold out workshop next week for women Indigenous business owners. That's going to be hosted by Sunshine Tenasco of Powwow Pitch, so a very well-known Indigenous entrepreneur here in our region that we're honored to collaborate with. Others include our Bounce Back Better boot camp. Resilience is a significant challenge that we're seeing across the entire ecosystem. And so Janice McDonald and Claire Beckton, who are two very well-known leaders in our ecosystem, they do a lot of work with BDC, EDC, and other Crown Corps, with our post-secondaries as well as with industry, are going to be walking through a very systematic way to build that resilience muscle, come together as a community, create mini peer groups essentially inside that workshop so that there's a mechanism for support. There's such a lack of connection during the pandemic. We're relegated to a screen and we miss those hugs and the opportunity to be physically present with each other. They're going to recreate that opportunity. And then, of course, we have a very important event on mental health with the Royal Ottawa Hospital. Mental health is the second pandemic, and we're seeing it in very large droves here in Ottawa. We're bringing together leading women scientists talking about the importance of sleep, which none of us get enough of course, the increase in substance abuse and addiction with women during this very difficult period, how to better manage stress and cope, and the resources that are available. So there's a suite of opportunities, no matter what field, no matter what part in your leadership journey you might be at, to find new mentors, to learn, to develop new skills, to connect with new communities, to find different career paths. virtually. It's accessible and it's all free. And we'd be delighted to have our friends and colleagues supported by FCC from coast to coast. And in fact, we have many from St. John's, Newfoundland, right through to Vancouver and Victoria, BC, who are joining us for different events, and we're taking it out to the world. This is an opportunity for Canada to lead the world. Women are having a very difficult time, and we need to rally and create more opportunity for them.
Mhm. That's yeah, I applaud you, Sonya, because I know you're a champion in this space, and I mean, you're doing a lot. You and your team are doing a lot of work in this, and I just applaud you for that, because there's just so many things, like you say, there's just so many things like capital, knowledge, people, resiliency, mental health. Like you've got it all covered. So well done.
Partners. It's a constellation of 50 partners that come together. This is for the community, with the community, and we could not be more honored. We have leading partners from right across industry, academia, government, nonprofits. This is the only way to drive change. Women and men working together as a unified force. Every team, every organization has something to contribute.
Nice. So you mentioned Area XO. So can you tell us a little bit about what's going on there and what that's all about?
Area X.O is one of the most exciting endeavors that we are engaged in, officially launched last fall together with FCC and so many partners. Incredible investment from the City of Ottawa, from the Province of Ontario, from the Government of Canada, and a constellation of major multinationals from Nokia to Ericsson to BlackBerry, QNX, Microsoft, Accenture. There's a host of partners that have made this $29 million facility happen that is dedicated to being the futureplex of innovation and collaboration. So we're looking at helping entrepreneurs, firms, and larger companies come together to innovate, develop, test, validate, and implement autonomous connectivity and smart mobility technologies of the future. So of course, we have a long history in the last few years of doing so much work together with partners like BlackBerry, QNX in connected and autonomous vehicles, formerly known as the Ottawa L5, and that speaking to the different levels of autonomy. We have morphed and recognized there is so much opportunity in a multitude of sectors where smart mobility, connectivity, and autonomy can play a role and advance us as a society. And of course, one of the anchors is the Ottawa Smart Farm. And that's, of course, one of the great areas of collaboration between FCC, the City of Ottawa, and Invest Ottawa. This is at the heart of all of the innovation that we are doing together with AAFC, our friends at Agriculture Canada, City, and it's all about data. How do we help farmers and producers take critical data from sensors that enable them to do more with less, to have greater return on their investment, to achieve better yield, to address challenges faster, to reduce their carbon footprint, have less of a negative impact on our environment. It's all about equipping them with data and knowledge to make the best decisions possible on their growing practices, how they approach their business to drive productivity, profitability, and performance. And so it's early days. It's early days. It feels like because we've invested so much energy and horsepower with so many people and great organizations that it's been up and running for years. And yet it has really only been active for a few months. One of the key differentiators from our facility, there's many different valuable facilities across Canada and around the world. We bring together so many unique communications capabilities that don't exist anywhere else. It's the combination of those capabilities: GPS, 4G LTE, Wi-Fi, LoRa, white TV spaces, and authentic pre-commercial 5G that is delivered by Ericsson and Nokia. That combination of capability is not available anywhere else in the world as far as we know today. And of course, that's always subject to change. But that capability enables innovators, producers, and all kinds of companies to test different approaches, technologies, and solutions on all of these different communications networks. We also operate Band 14, which is the public security network, public safety network, so that first responders who want to come and test different technologies can do so safely using authentic technology in the right way, right at our site. We could not be more excited about the potential.
Yeah, that's amazing stuff in only a few months, and you've got a lot going on. And then we got seeding coming up. So can you tell us a little bit about the plans for this coming year?
So we have just concluded in this last year our first growing season. So that was very exciting. As we look forward, we're going to be launching some demonstration fields. And a big focus is on how we help farmers to assess their carbon footprint and make the best potential decisions to reduce their negative environmental impact. So, working with a host of partners, and I want to make sure I get this correct, and I actually documented this. Everyone from, of course, City of Ottawa, Agriculture Canada, the University of Ottawa, GPS Ontario, Microsoft, Fertilizer Canada. We're so looking forward to collaborating with FCC on this as well. How do we leverage all the data coming out of the sensors that exist throughout the smart farm to generate data that helps our producers to measure their carbon footprint? For us, it's all about knowledge transfers and best practices, the different techniques and planting approaches that they can take to assess water quality, nitrous oxide, and fuel consumption. So, big focus on return on investment for our producers. We're very excited to get launched into this growing season. The pandemic has had a detrimental impact on the operation of so many businesses. We're fortunate at AreaX.O because we are an R&D facility. We have continued to operate safely with a host of new parameters with the health protocols, but we have continued to move forward. And as soon as all this white stuff that we have here, and boy, do we have a truckload of it, disappears and we're moving into the spring, we're incredibly excited about the opportunities that lie ahead.
Sonia, can you tell us a little bit about how International Women's Week and the synergies between that and Area X.O and if how they relate?
Absolutely. So when we set out to create a vision for International Women's Week, we wanted to serve and address the needs, opportunities, and challenges of women across all sectors. And of course, we have 1,000 working farms here in the City of Ottawa. I don't think that's well known. And with our investment in the Smart Farm, we really want to shine a spotlight on the amazing women leaders who are driving forward on our vision and our goals. So for us, it's really about shining a spotlight on all of those women leaders, encouraging more to build a pipeline of top women talent for precision ag, smart farming, connected and autonomous vehicles, and all of those disruptive technology areas that intersect and will help us to take on the world and add tremendous value to our economy.
Those are some great initiatives, Sonia. Thank you so much for sharing. You're in a leadership position, and as a woman, I was just wondering what kind of tips you have for the audience in terms of, leadership and, growth ideas and that kind of thing. What would you recommend?
I always believe in thinking big and being bold and brave. I think often we as women sometimes sell ourselves short. We count ourselves out. We want everything to be perfect. We want to know we have all the right skills to apply for that job or to apply for that board of directors or dream about something that I just don't have the expertise in. Scrap all of that. Think big, be bold, and surround yourself with experts and trusted circles and trusted networks. The concept of fellowship is something we're hearing a lot about at Invest Ottawa, how we come together, men and women. It's not just woman to woman, but looking for those trusted mentors, advisors, champions, and allies who can provide the knowledge, provide the encouragement and the inspiration, and actionable insight that fits your goals and the way in which you can take steps forward. So not everyone is ideally suited to go and pursue a CEO role tomorrow, but perhaps there's a path over time, over the next 2 to 3 years, I'm going to take these steps. I'm going to build these mentorship opportunities. I'm going to join these networks and professional organizations. I'm going to take this course and I'm going to learn about these areas. Build a leadership plan that's right for you, that works with all of the other responsibilities that you have in your life. And the challenge with women in this pandemic, the reason there is such a detrimental impact is because women often are the primary childcare provider, elder care provider. They're managing many responsibilities throughout the home. Where you have two working parents, often a woman will unfortunately earn less than her partner. And therefore, if a choice has to be made, it comes down to survival and sustainability. And so in many cases, women are stepping back from their career. And what we want to do is inspire during International Women's Week to say, build your own leadership path and plan. There is a ton of support in the ecosystem all around you. And it's free. A lot of the support that not only organizations like Invest Ottawa provide, but many other valuable organizations, networks, collectives offer is completely free. It's accessible online. You can tap into the best resources in our region and right across Canada and around the world today because of the pandemic and how much great content and connectivity is available right now, through these virtual means. Take the time to think about your goals, set a vision, establish a personal board of directors, and really build something that you're passionate about so you drive for it and nothing compromises it. You might change the steps you take and the speed at which you do it, but you're going to pursue that goal for you because it's your guiding light, your North Star. That's what I would say.
So a lot of our listeners probably don't know about Invest Ottawa. Can you just give us a quick sort of rundown of what it is and also just a little bit about the technology scene in Ottawa as well?
Absolutely. The topic I love. So Invest Ottawa's lead economic development agency offers multiple programs and services that help entrepreneurs and firms in all kinds of sectors. So our venture development team focuses on helping entrepreneurs launch, grow, scale, and thrive. And that's entrepreneurs on our main street. So of course, the pandemic has had a very detrimental impact on all of the restaurants, hospitality establishments, retailers, trades, and services that we all love, that are part of our neighborhoods and the fabric of our lives. We have an entire team dedicated to Main Street business. They are part of our Small Business Enterprise Center, and they are working hard to help all of those establishments that were shuttered get online and get selling quickly and efficiently online to continue operating and thrive with the support of the Government of Canada through FedDev Ontario in a program called Digital Main Street. So they are an incredibly busy team currently. On the technology side of our business, we have a series of programs for tech entrepreneurs and founders in different stages of development so that they can learn how to launch a business successfully, grow and scale a business successfully with the support of a host of mentors, advisors, investors, opportunities, resources, market insight. We surround these scaling entrepreneurs and firms with all different types of resources customized to their stage of development, their sector, and their target market and client. And so there's just a host of technology areas. Of course, given that Ottawa is a global tech hub, we have programs and services that are dedicated to those that are in smart health, those that are supported by AreaX.O in precision agriculture, smart mobility, connected and autonomous vehicles. It's all about collaboration, and we're very grateful for the support of the Government of Ontario, the Government of Canada, and City of Ottawa on those programs. Our global expansion team really looks at attracting international capital, talent, and companies into our region so that we can continue growing and thriving as a global tech hub. They also support all of the companies that are major anchor employers here in the region in tech. So multinationals that have large R&D mandates that generate thousands and thousands of jobs for our region that grow and help to build our economy. And so one of the prime areas, of course, telecommunications. 90% of the telecom R&D in this country that's industry-led takes place here in Ottawa. We have a whole host of emerging technology sectors, clean tech emerging, smart health, amazing research and firms supporting in that area. And in the pandemic, is there anything more important? Software, of course, leaders such as Shopify that are major employers and driving immense innovation and helping so many Main Street businesses get online and get selling so they can continue to operate. We are a rich tech hub with about 1,750 companies right across the region. And of course, AreaX.O is really dedicated to helping to grow more of those startups, scale ups, and connecting them with large multinationals in sectors like smart farming, connected and autonomous vehicles, defense, public safety, where we know we can help lead the world in terms of connectivity, autonomy, and smart mobility technologies. We have a talent team as well. And so talent is a very fascinating area. We are all in a global war for talent. Talent is becoming much more mobile and global now. We can work remotely. We've proven this. We've accelerated that in so significant droves over the course of this last year. When we look at what the new workforce will look like, making sure we maintain a competitive advantage, Ottawa is one of the greatest, if not the greatest area in the world, we think, to not only build a great career with so much potential, but to build an amazing life. Our talent team is looking at those firms that are capitalizing on opportunities created during the pandemic, where they're playing a critical role in helping to provide solutions that are desperately needed, and those that have displaced employees where change has been necessary. And in some cases, of course, it's tragic, as the whole pandemic is, we're seeing some companies actually being forced to close. So how we help all of that talent, entrepreneurship talent, technology talent, Main Street business talent, stay in our region and continue adding value. We have a whole team dedicated to making sure we preserve Ottawa's talent competitive edge and put all of those great, brilliant minds to work in new opportunities where they exist and help to attract international talent in where required. So it's a really broad mix. Our economy is very diverse. Diversity and inclusion is a very major area of focus for us. Of course, International Women's Week is a part of our diversity and inclusion strategy. We want to help top talent from every walk of life pursue their dream and grow and succeed. And so that's almost a common denominator. I would call it a foundation on which we build all of our programs and services. We're on a journey. We have a very long way to go. We're grateful for the support of our community and so many experts on this.
Okay, thank you, Sonya, for that. I was just wondering if somebody outside of Ottawa or Ontario, could access some of those services virtually, or if you have to be in the region to do that.
So it's different criteria for different programs and services. So International Women's Week and our virtual events, workshops, and opportunities to tap in and take advantage of virtual content, that's open to anyone all around the world. And we've really tried to promote that very broadly. Of course, we are building up an incredibly rich client pipeline at Area X.O. We're looking at how we put all of these amazing capabilities to work in different ways, including virtually. The pandemic is pushing us to be more innovative in how we approach. We absolutely love working with collaborators across the province and across the country, as supported by FCC, of course. We welcome anyone who's interested in learning more about what AreaX.O has to offer to reach out to me directly. I'm on LinkedIn. Other programs and services on the venture development side, we really do largely serve entrepreneurs here in Ottawa, but we partner with other innovation hubs right across the province and throughout the country. For example, Mars Discovery District, our friends at Communitech, those hubs that are supported through the Canadian Digital Media Network. We all come together as a virtual national community and we share best practices and we look at how we can support firms and innovators in each other's regions with different areas of expertise that we can bring to bear. So truly, I would say the barriers are less and less. The virtual world has created a wealth of new opportunity. We love collaborating. If there's something that's of interest to you, please reach out to me. I'm happy to provide information and connect you.
Before we head out, Sonya, is there anything else that you'd want to share with our listeners?
We are just so appreciative for the support of so many investors, partners, clients, champions, sponsors, not just from here in Canada's capital, but right across the country. When I look at some of the big picture societal challenges we face, and the pandemic is one of the most significant periods in our history, it will take long-term sustained visionary collaboration to overcome some of the hurdles that we face in our entrepreneurship ecosystem, in our economy, in our health system. We really need to be bringing all of our strengths to bear. And we are here as collaborators and want to share all of the learnings, all of the opportunities, and whatever strengths we might have here in the region. And as a global tech hub, I think we are a rich plethora of opportunity to come together with others right across Canada and around the world to address some of those big picture societal challenges that impact all of us. International Women's Week is our way of addressing many of the gaps facing women leaders and helping to grow mass of women leaders in all professional spheres. That is just one of many big picture challenges. Together, I know as in collaboration, we can truly lead the world and make a tremendous difference no matter what the challenge.
How can our listeners get more information on International Women's Week?
We would love for you to visit our online calendar, which is full of free events, 50 partners delivering 40 events and growing. InvestOttawa.ca/IWW for International Women's Week. We invite all champions, allies, and partners right around the world to join us. We would love to work with you. And this is a challenge that we need everybody to come together to help with this.
Thanks. If our listeners want to connect with you, is there a way that they can do that?
Absolutely. I am probably best on LinkedIn. There are so many social media tools of choice. LinkedIn, just take a look, Sonya Shorey, Invest Ottawa. I would be very happy to receive requests and connect with different resources, opportunities, and experts because I am surrounded by some of the leading experts in the world in terms of entrepreneurship, global development, investment. We have such an amazing group of people that support us inside Invest Ottawa and come together in our community. Please reach out.
And I just wanted to thank our listeners for joining us today. And thank you again, Sonya, for joining us and telling us about Invest Ottawa and International Women's Week.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. And thank you so much to FCC, all of your commitment and support of Area X.O and our shared objectives.